Alright, today I want to talk about the decalled X Factor strat for Botchoon. This is the one where you set up the X Factor to come out early on the right side of the room. Particles kind of bounce around and they end up on the left side just in time to hit Botchoon as Botchoon first appears. So let's demonstrate that real quick here. Just kind of like that. So we can see the top left corner, the number 1800. I have this set up with practice round to show the enemy hit HP. Botchoon starts with 3000 HP. Each particle does 300 damage. So that's how we know all four particles hit. We drop down 1800. And now we only need 6 supers to take out Botchoon, which is something you can do. All four first round patterns. It's possible to put 6 supers in. So let's talk a little bit about how it works. So to start out, it helps to have this door open, and you want power bomb selected, and you just want to run into the room. You do not want to shoot going into the room. So we can see here, and then you would hold shoot during the door transition. So we can see here, because I didn't hold shoot during the transition, nothing happened. I'm just gonna get Botchoon out of here for a second. Oh, I forgot he would do that. Sooner. So I can talk about this. The key to me to making this more consistent is where the X Factor comes out and where you stand when Botchoon appears. Specifically the horizontal position. So I find being right about here on this column is where you want to be. You can be a little bit closer to this hole. Touching the hole, you really don't want to be any closer to the hole than that. Being all the way up here probably will work too. And then this hole is right about here is where you want to end up. Right here, I'd say. Kind of right before this you kind of see Samus's foot is kind of this pipe. It is important to never turn around. So you do not want to be land, run to here, and then try to turn around and back. That's not going to work. You're actually better off if you run too far. Whoops. Well, that will not work for sure. Whoops. You're better off just standing here and hoping. You could try doing a moonwalk back, but I don't think it usually works. So it's actually better, when you want to run forward, maybe run like that and then that and then that. You kind of stop early and move forward. But I focus on the horizontal position. I find as long as you're in the right horizontal position, it doesn't really matter when you start, when you get in this position. So sometimes you'll see runners do this. They'll run to this wall, jump, and then kind of angle over, they'll wait till they fall off. And then come over like that, and that can work. You can actually do this. You can come over a lot earlier, and that will also work just fine. Demo that here. Ooh, I went a little too far forward. Yeah, see, that was because I went too far forward there. Not following my own advice. That's better. There we go. So, the reason that you'll see some of the suggestions be that you should wait till you turn here. Ooh, that's another thing, actually. This is a good example of what you don't want to do. See, I'm doing a spin jump here. So let's say I do this spin jump like this. Look how late the power particles come out. So let's try to do it like we were trying to do it for real. See, they come out way later. When you're in spin pose, even if you're fully charged, it still delays the particles quite a bit from coming out. So you do not want to spin jump here. You need to bonk this wall. And you can't jump right away. It might be hard to do this. If you jump right as you bonk the wall, like that, you can see I've got A pressed on my input viewer, but I didn't jump. The game will eat your jump input for, I think it's a few frames. It's at least 1 frame, but it might be 2 or 3 frames that it's your jump input. I fully explained what I finished explaining what I was talking about. The reason why you'll see the suggestion to wait until you come through here is what I've seen. What runners are doing is they'll go to this wall and then after they turn, they'll keep holding left all the way until they land. And so Samus will end up landing like potentially way over here. And this can still work, being this far over. I just don't like going for that. I like going for the positioning more than that, because that way, like, because the problem is if like you doing that spin jump. If you wait too long to turn over, like here it looks like I landed in the right spot, but I was more like right here when I passed by this hole. That's going to cause the X Factor to not go on the right spot. And then if I start turning too early and I just keep having turn held or kept the direction held the whole way, now I'm way too far forward. So I like going for this here, and then it doesn't matter when you start turning. You start turning way early or way later. Well, you don't want to be too late. You don't want to be too late. You don't want to be over here. So let's see what happens if I go too late. Yeah, see, they just don't end up in the right spot. Yeah, close, but it doesn't quite work. So you do want to get over. You can see, like, here I went over pretty early. They still made it over the bottom. Kind of risking here. It is better, I think, to maybe go to about this point and then nudge forward a little bit. That way, you don't risk overshooting. Because again, overshooting... Oh, see, I jumped too early. I shouldn't be doing that. You actually have a fair amount of leeway. I did not follow my own advice. I got lucky the whole part of this hit. But you still don't want that. You know, that's going to make it where you can't fire your supers in time. See, you could jump somewhat late. That one might not work. That was a little bit too late. You can't wait forever. But that was a pretty good delay there. That one almost worked. So maybe not being that delayed is good. But obviously, see, again, I'm standing too far forward. Too far forward. This is too far. Yeah, oh, there's a little better. And I think you can nudge your way forward. So if you, yeah, see, you can kind of move forward at the end. I don't recommend doing like, oh, that hurt. Yeah, but that didn't work. See, you got to go most of the way. You don't want to go halfway. This is not going to probably work. Yep. You want to go most of the way forward. See there, I ended up way too far forward, and it didn't matter because I made my final adjustment pretty late. So that's what I would recommend for that. One thing I didn't talk about yet is when to start running forward. You wait until the X crosses. So now, and that's a little bit lenient too. If you're a little bit late, it's usually fine. So that wasn't immediately. Although you can see that it did connect, but it was a little bit. It's kind of like it almost didn't work. But that was fine. So it's not. You've got a little bit of time. You don't have to go immediately. And I kind of find like that time I tried to go early, and it also worked. Even trying to go early, you kind of have to go super early. I'm trying to go so early. I haven't finished charging the shot. So I haven't mentioned it yet. Of course, you need to keep shot held the whole time until the X Factor comes out. Yeah, I'm trying to go super early. It's That's kind of it. That's the whole trick. So hold shot as you... So again, we're going to run into the room. Don't hold shot. Have power bomb selected, but don't hold shot. Run until you bonk the wall. Wait a moment. Make sure you figure out, make sure you're jumping if it's not going to eat. Do a jump. Get into this position here. Wait for the X Factor up here. Run most of the way to this hole. Probably at least this far, and then kind of nudge forward to about here. I would do your final nudge close to when Batum's going to appear. Of course, have super selected, so kill Batum. And don't miss supers. This is the reason why I'm not demonstrating the super killing part. You don't want my advice for that. You can get that top pattern. Even that's not good advice for him to this. By the way, don't run out of the room too quickly. I think that was too quick. We'll see. Yep. Batum's not dead. This only happens if you run out of the room very quickly. You can tell I have the music turned off, but if you didn't have the music turned off, the music would last longer. Hey, that's just kind of wrapping up this brief tutorial of this decalled X Factor here. So kind of, I go for this position. I go for like trying to be in this position when part of this come out. So, why not? So, run to the wall, get into about this position, at least this far left. You need to be... It's okay if you're just touching that hole, but any further right, probably don't want to be. Again, never turn around. So never be like, oh, I wanted to be here. Do not turn around. You never want to turn around. You do the one turnaround right here, and that's like your only turnaround. So here, oh, I'm too far forward. Not really. This actually probably worked at this position. And then after the part of X Factor appears, you run forward most of the way. This would probably be fine. This is fine. And then you can nudge forward a little bit more as the X Factors are about to appear. Yeah, so the main thing I was trying to cover here is, like, what I've seen demoed or described is that what you do is you run to here, and then you jump, you wait till you walk, and then you keep left held the whole way. Like that. Actually, that's probably no good. Like, I can't even do it right. I let go of left early. Something like that. And that can work, but it's just so dependent on when you start your turn. And what I'm trying to get across is, you don't need to do that. You can turn, that was kind of late, you can turn early, and these don't work, so... so that was kind of turning early. That was still a little early compared to probably the... I need to practice top pack a little more. You can definitely get those supers in. See, now I'm kind of... I should have had that one. Oh, that's good. Don't do that. I'm trying to do this late. This is good. So it doesn't really matter when you turn. And by extension, you kind of take a little bit of time on that jump. Okay, so why did that happen? That happened because I moved, and then I kind of did, I was like, oh, I didn't move far enough, I did a little extra nudge. You really don't want to be moving after, like, there's a period of time... You guys tried to do that for this there, I don't think I did it right. See, I tried to move after I moved right after the X Factor came out. That's going to cause the particles to do all kinds of crazy stuff. You don't want to do that. So it's better to, like, if you feel like you might have messed up, it's better to just go with it. Like, I gotta stop doing this. This is that pretty perfect jump. It's not going pretty perfect. There's really no reason for me to be rushing that jump input. And this is the other mistake I've been making. Running a little bit too far to start out. It's better to run about this far and then nudge forward to that position. Some of these realizations I just had like over the last day or two, and I'm trying to. It's like I'm fighting my own muscle memory. Because I used to be kind of a believer in you need to bonk the ceiling then turn, because that's what I learned that was working. But as I've been doing more testing with it, I've realized that it's really more about the positioning. See, that was fine, even though I ended up right here. Because I ran to about here first and then nudged forward. It's fine. Just don't run all the way to here right away. See that? This is not gonna work. Oh, okay. Of course it works this time. That's the other thing that makes this trick kind of annoying. Because, like, every once in a while it will work. Like, and then you're like, oh, that must be how I should do it. But I'm not having good consistency. That might be okay. No, but see, even that one, I ran too far forward to start. Kind of don't want to run that far forward to start. This will be fine, yeah. I'm surprised you hadn't heard about the ceiling one stuff. I think most, like, people who talk about the X Factor have talked about that ceiling one turn as you reach the ceiling or whatever. But you focus on this position here. This is good. This is, I think, about as you don't want to go any further right than that. Yeah, land near right landmark. Yeah, see, that's kind of more what I've been focusing on is land near right landmark or be in this position, kind of. Like, so I try to get to this column, and then I stop moving left, and then wait till I land, wait for the X particles to appear, then run forward. But I think it's better to err on the side of caution, move maybe about here, and then nudge forward and have me get to that position. That's it. That's the whole tutorial. It's funny how different it'll look and still work. But I've been having good luck with oops. I'm not having good luck Super Metroid. But this first part with how I do the turn hasn't really changed much for me. It's just been more clarifying how it works. Like, oh, you can turn early. Alright. That's all I got. I'm gonna end the stream.